the Dap It Up podcast. It's D along with Soldier First Class.
Your boy Gunnm.
And this is my favorite podcast on the internet because today we'll cover some of the latest, greatest news in gaming, like a big shakeup in the emulation world, and some of the exciting titles releasing this year. Before we do that, as always, Gunnm, what's up with you?
Well, not a lot's changed from last week. So I've been watching that Freerun show. I can't remember whether or not I said I started it. Well, I was
What
going
show?
to start it. It's an anime called Freerun.
Oh.
So it's the number one rated show on my anime list right now. That was what had me curious about it, and everyone won't shut up about it. So thought I'd give it a try, and I'm really liking it. It's a really good show. So I'm on the last 3 episodes, and I hear the last 3 episodes are really, really spectacular. So we'll see. But do I think it's number one? No, but we'll see after these last 3 episodes. But it's a good show.
That's every anime.
It's a 9. It's a good 9 though. Like for sure. It's very good.
A 9?
It's a 9. But
okay,
not quite
because
a 10.
I can't tell how you feel about it.
It's a very good show. Very good show.
Okay. You just wouldn't say it's the best of all time.
Better than Brotherhood?
That's your best of all time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say that's the best choice to say that's the greatest anime of all time. But
I ain't seen it yet.
But you know, when you do start it finally, you know, you'll understand. Like I
the
think
way
it's...
you feel about this show is the way I feel about Brotherhood. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Or
Jujutsu. Oh man, y'all with Jujutsu. I'm like, dog.
Man, I feel like once you finish season 1 and get to season 2 especially, ooh.
I don't not believe you. Not believe you.
It's like, damn, season 2. I gave season 2 a 10.
A 10.
I gave it a 10.
We shall see. Anything else you got going besides anime?
I've been making quite a bit of progress in Final Fantasy 2. Been working my way through the story. I've been this game really is just a joy to play. It's just like, I never played the original, but it's like, this is like a complete game. This is a true sequel. It's a true sequel.
Let's save it. Cause I got a lot to say too. We'll save it.
Like this is a sequal.
It truly is.
This is how sequels should be.
I know. All I really have to say, different from last week, as you mentioned. Why are we still surprised by the weather at this point?
ADHD weather.
I'm tired of it.
It's like one day it's 30, next day it's 50, next day it's 60, and then it goes back to 20.
Like, bro, you need an arsenal of coats.
It's like
varying design.
Like I don't even know what days I need coats anymore. Like I just step outside and check now.
You need your Monday jacket, your Tuesday shorts, your Wednesday coat. Like
I'm like, oh, there's snow on the ground. Maybe I need my coat. Let me go back.
Oh, it's a weird way to live, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And you think after going on 30 years, it'd just be like, oh, that's where we live. But
you don't get used to it.
Nope. No, you really don't, because it's like shell shocking, bro. It's like you get a 60-something degree day, and the next day you go outside and you just get hit with this wall of frost. Like in the mouth.
Yep.
Man, especially having dogs. It's like, man.
That's why.
As much as I have to take y'all out, I don't want to.
Yeah, that's why I hate this time of year. Like it literally makes me sick. Like these temperature drops and these sudden pressure changes. Like actually, like I hate this
The
time of
worst
year.
part to me, that's fair. The worst part to me is the freaking mud, dude. Because even when you do get that quick temperature shift to a higher temperature,
Hmm.
the ground ain't dry yet. So like you go outside, you try to get some work done or something, and it's just you come back in and your boots is all brown, like looking like pig pen.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I guess this is what we complain about as we age, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they like, hey, first day of spring. I'm like, where? Not here, man. But it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. Okay,
Probably
man.
probably take till June till we get normal weather. But yeah.
I mean, there was a time. I think it was probably 2011, whatever year I was a junior. We had a snowstorm in May. I was like,
Dude, we had snow in May last year.
but like, not on this level, bro. This was like a storm. I was like, are you serious? And we already had dry weather for weeks, and then suddenly,
Yeah.
I don't know, Mr. White Christmas came knocking.
Yeah,
But
there. As far as I'm concerned, there ain't no spring. It's just winter and then summer.
that's how it feels. White Christmas.
We might get 3 actual weeks of spring and then we got summer.
Straight up. Guess the fake game. All right. I'm gonna tell you what's coming out this week. Guess the fake one. If you guess wrong, you die.
Damn.
A group of men clad in black gonna kick your door in and behead you on the spot.
The Nintendo ninjas are just gonna get me.
Your bright side is we go viral. But all right. On March 25th, we got Between Horizons, Palia, and Pal World Taurus Mountain expansion. March 26th, we've got, now we agree, is Grandia HD collection. Hopefully that's right. Outpost Infinity Siege, South Park Snow Day, and Wrestling Cardboard Championship. March 27th, AFK Journey, Necrosmith 2. March 28th, we've got Ario. That's Mario without an M. Medieval Dynasty New Settlement, Missile Dancer 2, Open Roads, Pepper Grinder, and Vellum.
That's it.
That's everything.
I mean, there's so many to choose from, but I'm gonna go with that Wrestling Cardboard Championship.
Yeah,
Yep.
you know, that's what I would have picked, but that's a real game.
There ain't no way.
Wrestling Cardboard Championship. I almost gave it away because I reacted like, what is that? But no, it was the Power World expansion.
I thought there was some Power World shit coming out, but you said expansion.
I threw a curveball in there, so it's a real
you did
game.
say expansion. Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, man. Nintendo Ninjas, have your way.
God damn it.
All right, bro. Let's tap in. So, Stellar Blade is getting a demo this Friday.
Which would be tomorrow from day of recording
From
this.
Recording. Yeah. The 29th.
So, personally, I'm looking forward to this game. Been hearing good things from the people that played it before Sony pulled it down. But I think people have been comparing it to like Bayonetta, kind of like a mixture of Bayonetta with some Devil May Cry elements. So I'm probably not as crazy, probably nowhere near as crazy, but it's.
Do you think that's just a visual comparison?
Maybe so. Because I hear there's a lot of there's a parry mechanic.
Oh yeah.
So that'll be interesting. I don't play a lot of games like that, so. But I play fighting games, so it shouldn't be an issue.
First thing I thought was, oh, you mean the demo that we should have already had because you released it early?
Oh yeah, there's that
And then
too.
broke into people's houses and stole it back.
It's the equivalent. Like they basically what Sony did was broke into your house. They went on your personal PS5, went to storage, and hit delete.
Dude, the greatest comparison, like the analogy I've seen, is imagine if you're a bookworm, you're an avid reader,
Mm.
and a publisher lost the rights to your book. So someone came into your house, your favorite book, and they erased the ink from the book. They just said, hey, let me see that real quick. And gave it back to you.
Just white out everywhere.
I'm like, dog. It's just people don't recognize the scope of it because it's digital, man. It's just, and people are growing up like this now, but owning a game isn't owning a game anymore. And I mean, there's a topic later in the show we'll delve into that I'm sure this is going to come back up, but I feel like physical media, maybe it's too soon to say it's back on the rise, but I can definitely see people reconsidering the future.
Yeah, I'm starting to see people kind of change their mind about that.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, on Stellar Blade specifically, I do. I'm not even gonna lie to you. The only reason I bought into this game was I appreciated them sticking to their guns on character design and just making the game that they want to make and putting forward the message they want to put forward.
Yeah.
I didn't really care about anything else.
Yeah, I'm
sure.
Like, I'm sure you saw that skin suit that people were able to use in that demo.
Yeah,
But,
I'm like an attractive woman, God forbid, you know?
Apparently, in order to use that suit, like it like activates hard mode or something, from what I understand. Yeah. Like, so in order to use that costume, like you're playing at the hardest difficulty.
Is it because the costume?
It's because of the costume.
I feel like that's an in joke. I feel like that's an in
which
joke.
Is funny. Which I think is funny.
I was gonna play the game on a harder difficulty anyway, so but yeah. Yeah, I'm just, and I hear good things about it beyond all of that, so I'm looking forward to on the heels of playing Final Fantasy and whatever additional progress I can make in Persona 3 Reload. It'd be nice to just play an action game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we got plenty of RPGs and plenty of RPGs still to come.
Yep. Speaking of which, I know one you've never played. Shame on you. Baldur's Gate 3.
All right, look, I haven't played it all the way through, but I have played it.
How much of it did you play?
10 hours total with the people I was playing it with.
10 hours?
We stopped. Yeah.
10 hours. What you do for those 10 hours? 6 of those is probably character creator.
No, we
3
did
of those
stuff.
probably idling in Discord
No, no, we actually played. We did stuff. I can't remember exactly, but we've gone exploring. Like we've
The
done the
nerve of
story.
you said I didn't play it all the way through. Like you weren't a fraction of the way through the game.
Yeah, we only made it a fraction of the way through.
Okay. You like actually what I meant to say. Okay, but you played it.
I played a little. I played a little bit. Like I got the. What level was
the
that?
gist of it.
Got the what? Level 12?
No, you didn't.
I'd have to look.
The highest level is level 12.
I'd have to look, man. I don't know what level, man.
Level 12 is in game, man.
I almost want to pull it up and look.
You sound like you lying.
No,
you sound like you lying.
I got it. I literally have it. I'm looking at it on my screen right now. It's on my PS5. It's been a while since I played it. We haven't played it since last year.
Okay. Well,
like December.
I'm sure you'll be happy to know that there aren't going to be any major DLC expansions for the game.
Good, because if we ever go back to it, which I don't even know if that's going to happen. That'd be a nightmare for us,
dude.
With our progress,
I was a little disappointed when I first heard it because I'm like,
I'm sure
I've been doing this exercise for an upcoming segment on the show where I was ranking my top 100 games of all time. Baldur's Gate 3 was, all I'll say, shockingly high on that list. Shockingly high. So, of course, to me, I'm like, dang, man, more would be better. But they said it's not in their identity. They tried DLC before. It didn't work for them. It's not something they want to do. Larian wants to move on to a new IP. And I'm like, hey, they're within their rights. I'm just like, y'all could make $100 expansion to that game and y'all would have my money. So, yeah, it kind of sucks, but if the passion isn't there, if it's not something they don't want to do, then it's not something they want to do. I don't think that precludes additional patches because, like, they're on hotfix number 20 or something, and they've been adding all kinds of stuff like endings and new dialogue and new animations.
Oh shoot!
I mean, by the time they're done, it'll probably feel like a whole new game anyway, at least as compared to what it was in early access. But crazy, bro. It's like, think about all the games we have that they just shove DLC after DLC down your throat, and then we get the one game where it's like, please give me more, and they're like, nah, we told the story we want to tell.
But yeah, I get it. That game took a lot of work to get out the door, and they pushed it back. What, like a whole year? Actually, I think 2 years.
Yeah, took a lot of work, but it was worth it.
They were gonna, dude. I'm pretty sure originally they were gonna release that like in 2020.
They were gonna release an expansion as well, but then they canceled it, and I'm like,
maybe it was 2021.
I don't know, man, because isn't this their most successful project to date? Like, if I'm not mistaken.
What was their last game?
I think it was Divinity Original Sin 2.
Yeah.
I might have it out.
Like, Divinity was pretty popular. I didn't know they did Divinity. Like, I thought that was
let's measure that, though. Popular for what? Popular for a CRPG? Because if we're comparing Divinity Original Sin 2 to, say, I'm not even going to say Call of Duty, right? To something like a FromSoft game,
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't think the numbers quite match up. And that's not to say these games lack appeal. It's just my point is Baldur's Gate put these games on the map in a way that I don't know what game since. Like what game has taken the CRPG formula and just said, hey, there's TikToks with tens of millions of views about conversations between the characters and stuff you can do and about the customization and depth of gameplay. And it could have just been a lightning in the bottle, like TikTok era thing, you know, the meme era. But
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I never seen. It's not like Wasteland 3 came out and everybody was making YouTube shorts about it.
Yeah.
So hopefully the next game. I mean, on the bright side, whatever they make, I know it's a must play for me. But I hope the next game reaches the same level of success. I just wish they would give me my Baldur's Gate Frozen Tundra or whatever. Give me my 20-hour expansion.
So that.
But they want to move on from the. What was interesting to me is they want to move on from the D&D IP entirely. So I'm curious as to what they'll do.
Interesting.
Yeah, to say the least. But good for you. You don't have to worry about getting back to that game and having more stuff to do in it.
What if they did a Bethesda style game?
In what way? Like first person?
Yeah.
I think they should stick to what they're good at. Because I feel like it's not to say they couldn't do it, but even if they were to say make another CRPG, but with like a Western skin, or I don't know what. Sci-fi was the easy route to go with that, but I think that in itself would do well. Like, I don't think it has to be something drastically different. Like, hey, we're gonna make a platforming arena shooter. I'm just more curious as to what they are cooking up as far as their own original content, because obviously that's what they want to emphasize going forward. But we shall see. I have another story that you had a lot to say about. I had to hold him back. This dude was about to storm. He was about to ride out on his horse, ringing his bell, shooting his gun in the air. And it was about Nintendo delivering a decisive blow to Emulation. So what happened?
Well, there's a few things that happen. So Nintendo took Yuzu, the emulator, to court. Basically, over DMCA, because they believe they have DMCA rights over their BIOS, which, you know, is technically their intellectual property. Which, you know, as far as a emulator, like, you know, the BIOS is kind of essential to run the whole thing itself. You don't have the BIOS, like, you can't do anything, really.
Right.
So basically the court ruled in favor of Nintendo. They can't use that stuff, and basically well, no, they didn't rule in favor, but they settled because it looked like they were going to rule in favor of Nintendo. So the settlement included them taking down the website, taking down all the files. They confiscated some files. I forgot how much they paid them out. I think it was 12 million. About 12 million. Which, you know, chump change for Nintendo.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always about the message. And
at the end of the day.
scaring others to keep them from doing the same. That's how they operate.
A quick little crack of the whip.
Pretty much.
Just a quick one.
There was definitely some other stuff. Like they wanted. So they gave them the domain to the site that they were using, as well as some other things associated with it. So basically, the whole Yuzu project is gone. It just doesn't exist anymore. Like the site is done. So it's probably somewhere out there on the internet. Probably could find it easily on the Pirate Bay or something. But it is done. So
you ain't supposed to say that. You ain't supposed to say that.
I'll censor it. I'll censor it. Put a big ass bleep on it.
Dude, Nintendo is like, they're like a billionaire on 100-acre lot surrounded by children. Like, and every single time these kids run to the outskirts of their property, they're like, get off my lawn, go away, when they could easily just it's such a weird situation because they're within their rights, entirely within their rights. But is it really? A lot of these cases, I don't think anyone's hurting anyone. Like the Pokemon ROMs.
Well, there were some interesting figures that came out during this court case. Yeah. So they cited that when Tears of the Kingdom was about to release, like, because like the games keep leaking out early because the Switch has been what's the word I'm looking for? Jailbroken. Yeah. Like there's jailbroken Switches out there, so they can get them early. Tears of the Kingdom was downloaded 3 million times before the game came out, like a week early.
Oh, really?
Like that was like I was like, huh?
Okay, I said some cases. I did say some cases, but that's wild. That's wild.
Which I will admit, that's a lot of money to lose.
No, it's quite a bit. Because 3 million downloads, right?
Yeah, and that's a $70 game too.
Yeah.
So I can understand a little bit in that case because part of their case was like they keep using this particular emulator for piracy.
Right.
So I feel like that's why the courts were kind of more so leaning towards in their favor, and they just decided to settle because it just wasn't looking good when they were in court. So
I mean, I feel like it'd be a hard case to lose when it's their IP, whether we were talking about the piracy of new releases or not. It's just, I guess that's why we can't have nice things, right? Because it's an entirely different conversation if people are trying to download Super Mario and the 6 golden coins or something.
Yeah, I feel like, at least for now, Nintendo doesn't really care as long as like it doesn't affect their bottom line.
Is that true?
Like, because they haven't gone after Dolphin.
So aggressive.
They haven't gone after Dolphin yet, or any of these other emulators.
Don't they have a vested interest in Dolphin?
I don't think so. I don't think they like Dolphin at all. Honestly. Because they kept it from going on Steam. They were like, fuck that. No.
That'd be kind of wild, though. I don't know how that surprises. Was anybody shocked by that?
Not really. Like, Steam was like, the Steam's president was like, let me ask Nintendo if they're okay with this. Or they listed it on Steam, and they were like, no, we don't want that.
Are you crazy? Well, see, this extends the physical media conversation.
That's why I'm saying I might need to get that Dolphin emulator before it goes away, because if they add GameCube
Why do you keep
games.
saying stuff to incriminate yourself?
If they
Shut up.
if they add GameCube games to NSO, like that might be it. Dolphin might be out the door. Dolphin might be
Yeah.
next.
Yeah. So, while you take your foot out your mouth, I want to return to what I mentioned earlier about that uptick in physical media, or at least the awareness of the importance of preservation. It's just between this and the whole Stellar Blade demo, I'm like, y'all. I know we we click A so fast on these end user license agreements, but I don't think that there is a world in which you could go to GameStop.com, order a game, get that game, and Nintendo could show up on your doorstep and be like, you know what I'm saying? They could brick your console or something, right? They could lock you out of it. But I don't know. That Stellar Blade situation, I think it's the principle of it. Because I mean, you can say what you want about it being an accident. I'm like, once people download it, for you to go in and forcibly remove it, all that does is show me. It shows me you could do that with my whole library if you wanted to. Is it likely you will? I wouldn't say so, but you can.
Yeah.
You can. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Like this shelf behind me. It's why, like, you see, I get the physical copies of games that I'm like, I'm probably never even gonna play this, but I like to have it. And it's not a you never know. It's just I've been playing games forever. You know, sometimes I like to look back and know that this thing isn't lost to time. It's like if I knew Chibi Robo was gonna be $300, I'd still have it. You know what I mean? It's freaking hard to come by. If I had the foresight as a kid to keep all my cases with my instruction manuals, bro, you know, shoulda, woulda, coulda, but I'm like growing increasingly regretful that I didn't.
Yeah.
By the way things are going.
Yeah. You hear about that breakthrough in physical media? How they
in Australia?
How they I don't know where it was, but there was an experiment to create a disk that holds, I think it was, I don't know if it was 1 petabyte or multiple petabytes, but it was able to hold like more than 1,000 terabytes worth of data, and it was successful. So it's possible in the near future might have some discs that can be mass produced that'll be able to hold the whole game in the discs now. So we won't have to download them all the time.
Download all the updates and the day one patch. Oh my god.
We'll have Final Fantasy Rebirth all on one disc.
And see, that's an argument that I've seen. It's like even when you buy physical nowadays, you don't have the game.
Yeah.
Look at Halo Infinite. The disc is for display purposes only. That disc does nothing because you still have to install basically the whole game.
Yeah. I mean, like, as long as, I mean, it might be too late.
Update.
It might be too late. The digital future might just be taken over. But,
yeah, because people ain't gonna stop buying digital games.
Yeah, if we can, but if there's a way to find a way to produce those discs like for cheap, like that definitely help keep physical around longer. At least for another couple generations.
I saw something about like almost 50% of the games in Australia being purchased in a physical format. I was like, wow, if that's true, then that's very surprising,
Mm-hmm.
considering what I see on a daily basis when I go to GameStop or wherever else, these department stores trying to shut down their physical sections. Dude, so on that note of you mentioning the game on one disc, what's crazy to me, I have always been the first person to say gaming is an expensive hobby and things
Yep.
cost money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I understand not everybody can afford every game that comes out. I fully understand that. What's wild to me is how they want to reduce the cost of video games by removing disk drives, by producing minimal physical copies. They want everything to be available mostly through a digital format, yet they're still increasing the prices of the games. I'm like, y'all couldn't just pick one? Yeah, they was like, hey, games are gonna cost $70. Also, we're gonna save money on manufacturing.
So, what I do find interesting as far as what these gaming companies are doing, I'm sure you've noticed everyone's releasing their games not only on console but on PC too. So I wonder what that means for the future. What I think that means is that in the future, I forgot who said this, said something similar to this. Maybe it was Phil Spencer. I can't remember. I think I just butchered his name, but whatever. I believe consoles aren't going to exist. Probably the next generation might be the last generation we have for consoles. Very likely. Because based upon like what I keep hearing from Sony and as well as from Microsoft, like they just aren't making that money back on those consoles because they manufacture them at a loss. So like the way they try to make that up is through software sales. And it seems like just selling it to like having these individual ecosystems, like, you know, just having them on one console, you know, it's just not working.
Dude, Nintendo will be the last one to pull out.
Nintendo will never, like, Nintendo does find a way until Nintendo starts seeing like a negative effect on as far as like their earnings. They're not gonna stop ever. They'll always be on their own hardware.
If one doesn't stop, there will always be a competitor, though.
Yeah.
The closest future I see to what you just said is everything is technically a PC game.
Yeah, we're just gonna have launchers.
Different colored boxes.
Yeah, we'll have different launchers, basically.
Yeah, like I think they're gonna have, hey, this is a Sony desktop, Microsoft desktop, Nintendo desktop. You know, I just, they're gonna find a way, regardless if we stop putting discs inside the consoles or not. I don't think it'll ever be unified in that way, but I do think I'm gonna miss receiving a box and opening it up. You remember that new game smell with the instruction manual? It was crisp on the inside. You was like, what is this? You took the little flyer out that had some BS on it about, hey, get your t-shirt. It was like, get a Bandai Namco t-shirt and plushie. Like, I don't need this. You open up that 30-page instruction manual, flip through the pages. I can't wait to play this. But things change. Yeah, you're probably right, though. We're just gonna have different launchers.
Yep, pretty much.
Xbox will just be a computer at that point. Hey, get your Xbox today.
As much as I hate to say this, that's kind of almost what it is to me right now.
I mean, that's what they all are.
Xbox is basically. I just basically play Xbox games on my computer now.
But that's the thing. I mean, you can do that. You have the option.
Yeah, I plan to play Hellblade 2 on my computer too when it comes out.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna play console games until it ceases to be a thing. But you can't stop the future. And the bottom line, as you always say, speaks over everything. So on a lighter note, you mentioned you were playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I too have been playing that. What a coincidence.
I know.
All I've been playing. You mentioned it's like a pure sequel. I'll do you one better.
Yeah.
This game, all I can think as I'm playing through it is, bro, when the third one comes out, they need to just release a compilation. I know that's work, but just find a way to make a thorough line between all. They actually haven't confirmed that it's a trilogy, but you'd assume it would be based on the structure of the game, narratively. And I'm like, bro, you mentioned to me that you want to play through both of the first two again when the third one comes out, whenever.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Mass Effect. It really does, where you play that first game, you introduce to the world of Midgar, or whatever the world is in Final Fantasy. Midgar is the city. You play the second game and the world is opened up to you. I can only imagine what they're going to do in the third game.
Yeah.
Like, all of this on one disc, man, is wild.
Yeah. I think the name of the planet is Gaia. I'll correct myself in post.
I should know this, as much as I love Final Fantasy VII, but there's so many terms and whatnot to remember between these games. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mentioned last week the amount of joy this game gives me. It's like I look so forward at the end of a day of work, coming home, turning this game on.
Same. Like, it's just a fun game. It's just a fun game and it always breaks up the regular gameplay loop in some kind of way with some kind of mini game. Like, you might not like them all, but there's others that you might like. Like, there's like a Mario Kart one. Mario Kart-like one that I really like.
There's a brawling one, a pseudo RTS one. Man, so Trails of Cold Steel. One thing I truly appreciate about this series is the variety of things to do. I think it's a bit underrated in that way, because I know there's a segment of the population that don't care for mini games, but to me, a lot of those titles from the early 2000s were characterized by the variety, and even the 90s were characterized by that. Because I think back to games like Tales of Symphonia, or even Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy X. It was like you'd go to a new locale and they'd be like, hey, you want to jump on the trampoline and slice monkeys with a butcher knife? It was like, wait, what do I want to do, huh? And Rebirth captures that magic of, oh, what are we going to do now? Because I always expect in a modern RPG for a mini game or like a side event, an optional task, I always picture it to be this rigid, like limited endeavor by the engine, if that makes sense. Like it
Yeah.
always seems like all the mini games are you're just running and then you collide with this item and collect it or this or that. And in all the mini games I see in those types of titles. But Final Fantasy Rebirth is more like, hey, you can race a chocobo, there's a motorcycle game, there's a fighting mini game. And like we just said, there's so much to do. And this could be argued, maybe you don't like that stuff, but I feel like not only is most of it fun, but you're instantly reminded after these little detours. Oh, wait, this is the grand picture. I'm supposed to be going this way to have this next big climactic battle with a giant monster. It's like sometimes I forget there is combat and then I get into a fight and I'm like, wait, this is the best part of the game. You know what I mean? I'd be so transfixed, so stuck in the world.
Yeah. And the thing is while I enjoy the game, I don't enjoy all its mini games. Like I don't. Admittedly, I don't. They're like the 3D fighting one. I hate that shit. I'm not gonna.
Because you suck.
So basically, and this will help anybody that's stuck on it. Just pause. Just cheese it.
You had to cheese that?
I cheesed it. I just hated it.
You got murked.
I hated it.
Wow, really? How you doing the sit-up one?
I had to pause it on. I haven't done that one yet. I was talking to one of my homeboys. I was like, "What's sit-up mini game?" And he was like, "You didn't do that?" I was like, "Shit, I got to go back and do that." So yeah, I got to go back.
I got through that sit-up one. I was surprised how fast I did that, bro. Like I did the last round on the first try.
Is it just like Crisis Core? As far as like how it works?
So in Crisis Core, didn't you have to mash the button or something?
I think you had to like mash it at like a certain rhythm. Like at different points.
Well, did you played Remake? You remember the pull-up mini game?
Yeah, so it's like that.
It's like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and you have to switch up the rhythm of the tap sometimes. Sometimes you have to pause. Sometimes you have to mash it. But
okay.
Oh, yeah.
I got it.
Did you like the I don't want to spoil it yet. I want to still give this game some time for people to play. The marching mini game.
Oh, I didn't get a perfect on that, but I might do it again for the plat because I did it. So I might do it again for the plat because I still got to save for it, so I can still.
It don't have to be perfect. You just have to get a really high score.
I thought you had to be perfect, but okay.
No, you had to. Did you do the hardest formation?
I got everybody, so
you got to get everyone, and then you have to arrange it so that you get a 3-star performance from each segment, if that makes sense. Because you remember you can pick the formation, so you basically have to do 3-star formations.
Okay.
And do well on them.
Nah, I didn't do that, man.
That's probably why, bro. That piano mini game too. I'm like, that's the hardest one to me.
I like it, but yeah, it can be hard. Like
I like it.
It's like once you get a perfect on one, like the other ones, kind of like aren't as. You just gotta practice. You just gotta practice it.
Yeah. If I get an A, I'm like, all right, and I just move on. I'm like, I don't need the perfect.
Because you and me are like in the same place. Have you found more than 2 sheets? Like I only have Tifa and Barrett's thing. I haven't found a third one yet. Like, is there
I
a
got
third one?
Tifa's Barrett's. There's a third one, but I don't. It's like the first one I got. I don't remember what it was though. I do have three. Don't they give you one at the start?
Yeah.
Like the first time you
Yeah,
see
so
a
there's a
piano?
third one?
I believe so. I mean, we could compare notes later, but
Mm.
yeah, play this game, man. I encourage people who aren't even JRPG fans, if we still say
Like,
that
it's
term.
like it's just a game, guys. Like, it's a game.
Yeah,
Like, beyond
it's
like just
silly.
being like, it's basically more an action game than it is like, it's just a game. It's a game.
It is. I will fight back and say this is definitely the best marriage of action and RPG that I can recall in a long time. Because it's still an RPG. It's still an RPG, but you could just set all that stuff to auto level and just mash your way to victory if you truly want to. I feel like that itself is a worthwhile experience. But it so far, I mean, even having played Persona 3 Reload, so far this is my game of the year. And I know it's still early, but I'm sitting here racking my brain. I mean, I know Hellblade 2 is coming out. I don't know what could overtake it. But I guess that can serve as a segue into our topic of the week, which is this year at a glance. So far, I'd say the big two for me, Tekken was this year, wasn't it?
Tekken was this year.
Big three for me, Tekken, Persona, and Final Fantasy, which were all in a 2-month span.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, this is... You don't really expect this, you know? I feel like you don't start getting those until the September, October, Novembers, right?
Yeah, this has been going on the past like 2 years, it feels like the first 3 months start like super strong. Like, there's a lot of stuff coming out. Like just within like the first quarter of the year. Like, I don't know. I don't understand it, but this has been the way it's been for the past couple years. Because Octopath and I forget what else. Was it Trails in the Reverie? Came out like the first quarter last year?
I do think that was early in the year.
Yeah.
I could be mistaken.
I could be mistaken about Trails in the Reverie, but I know Octopath came out in
I'm
the
pretty
first
sure
quarter
Dead
last year.
Space was last February, right? Or January. One of those. It was like last week January, first week Feb, something.
Yeah.
But
last year was just crazy in general. But
yeah, in general. But I'm wondering, okay, so we could easily just pull up a list, but I think that defies the point because I cannot visualize a game that I was more excited about than Final Fantasy.
Same.
And there's not really, see, GTA 6 is coming, but I mean, as you mentioned, you notified me that got recently delayed. And I honestly, much as I love Mass Effect, I could not care less about the next Mass Effect game. Hate to say it. I don't care about the next Dragon Age. And those would have been the top 2 or among the top 5 to 10 games. I don't know, man. I'm in this weird spot where I am currently blessed with the 2 games I even cared the most about.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, okay, hey, I mean, there's a bunch of good stuff still coming, but, you know, it's not Persona 6.
Yeah.
It's not Final Fantasy 17.
So, for me, like, I was really, and I do mean really enjoy Persona 3 Reload. Like, I had probably just 2 weeks prior to Rebirth coming out, like, I was really getting into it. Like, just, man, because I was like, man, I'm playing another Atlas game again, because like those Atlas RPGs, like this is just my, man, I have to be playing at least one every 6 months, something. Or else I don't know. I'm like a cokehead. Like I just start having a relapse. But man, it's like just felt good playing like another Atlas game, which is why I'm also excited as hell. Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance is coming next quarter.
So that's just an expansion, right? It's the game with an expansion, like added content.
Yeah, I believe that's what we all believe it to be. But it seems like there's some story changes though too. Kind of like Royal, you know?
Okay.
So hopefully the story is a little bit more, like the story was good, it just wasn't fleshed out like extremely well. Like, so hopefully like it just blows everyone's expectations out the park. And this is what S&T 5 should have been. But I'm looking forward to it because it's one of the best RPGs I've played since Persona 5. As far as gameplay.
Wow. Wow.
Like, as far as turn-based games, like one of the best. Like you can't, like, how can you do better? Wow. I mean it's an Atlas game, so
I told you I'd play it. I told you I refused to play it on the Switch, and when they inevitably ported it to other consoles, I would.
I mean, hey, I'm not playing it on the Switch either. Finally, I can play it at 60.
So this is my chance. I'll let you know what I think. That is on my radar for this year as well.
Hey, not to say I haven't been enjoying Tekken. I've been playing that a lot. But
you know, we've been talking about Tekken since it came out.
But
you know, Tekken is like a balance. You know, you play that along with other stuff.
I do have my grievances with it, but
you have your grievances with everything, and most of your grievances are you just being a crybaby. So,
but I wasn't gonna do it at first, but yeah, expect a video on my channel about it. Yeah. There will be a video.
Yeah,
it's in the works.
Tune in to hear Gunnm whine about Tekken and how it's not Dragon Ball Fighters or Smash Bros. So I never hear you talk about Aiden Chronicle ever. Like it never. I'm always the one who brings it up.
When is it coming out? God damn it! It's too many games.
Next month. It's on Game Pass too.
Okay, I'll give it a try. But
but
I'm going right back to Persona after Rebirth. Like, damn it.
Well, I mean, dang, you're right. Yeah, that's my big dilemma is I don't even know how far I am in Rebirth. I don't know if I'm at the halfway point or the third quarter. I don't want to look it up. I don't want to know when the game is in.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of ready for it to end. Ain't that weird? It's like every second I'm like, oh, I'll let this keep going. But then I'm like, nah. You know, I'm ready to. And I think it's because in the back of my brain, Persona is still a hill to climb. Like I still want to go back, despite playing the original game, or despite playing 3 FES. I'm like, Reload is the very next thing on my list. Like I could let that simmer. I couldn't let Rebirth come out and let that simmer. I had to play that immediately.
Yeah,
and I told you, remember, I was like, no, man, just play Final Fantasy and go back later because you do not want to juggle these games.
I was like, damn it.
If you were a streamer for a living, maybe. But nah, bro. I'm like, you gotta play these one at a time. But
It was hard.
Iron Chronicle, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Yeah, man, I don't know, because what normally we have this image of the end of the year. Normally we're like, this is the year Fallout 5 comes out or whatever comes out. But I feel like everything I'm interested in, or at least most interested in, has already or is shortly about to be released.
Mm-hmm.
So inevitably, I'm gonna pull up the list.
Hopefully, they don't announce Shin Megami Tensei 4 remake like it's been rumored. Because that does
Yeah, but
come
we
out.
wouldn't get that this year.
Well, just knowing that it exists, because the moment I hear it announced, that pre-order button.
I mean, at least you won't have to juggle it with anything else, hopefully. I mean, there's another Trails game coming, Black Myth Wukong, but I'm not like, I'm looking forward to Black Myth Wukong, but I'm not on it like everybody else is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not like, oh my god, this game. There's the Elden Ring expansion.
There's that too.
I'm sure that's like a lot of people's Christmas.
Shadow.
But yeah, I don't see anything. Like, I don't see any Q4, like big Q4 games. You know, I mean, we'll see when E3 season comes around. You know, as I still like to call it. I know.
Yeah. The year's still getting filled out, so
yeah.
I feel like once we get to, especially next month, if not May, we'll know how the rest of the year is looking for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Even before, can't even call it E3 season no more. Gotta call it.
That's what I call it.
We gotta call it Jeff Keighley season now.
No,
we gotta
Keighley
call it
Keighley
season.
December.
Gotta call it Keighley season.
Yeah,
it's his show.
But
Summer
that's the Game
Fest.
Awards, though.
Summer Game
No,
Fest.
I don't. I lump all of that under the umbrella. I say E3 season.
E3
because
is dead.
It don't
gone,
matter,
man. It's gone.
It don't matter.
I have to accept it, just like you have to accept it. It's gone.
I already accepted that it was gone, but what did we used to call it?
We used to call it E3 season.
Exactly, but the reason I call it E3 season is not because I'm trying to keep the spirit of E3 alive, even if
rest in peace to E3, bro. Electronic Expo.
It's just, think about it. Even companies that stopped showing up to E3 or never truly showed up to E3, they made all their announcements in smack dab in the middle of the year. Like that late May to mid-June, a lot of the biggest news came out whether it was during E3 or not.
Yeah.
So in my mind, that's eternally burned like E3 season. But we could call it what you want to call it. We could call it Summer Games Fest season.
May as well just call it the Keighley Show.
But not everything comes through him, bro. Like he
tries to be that guy, though. He is the show. He wants to be the show.
Credit where credit's due, but I'm like, you know, he ain't the end all be all.
All right, Jeff Keighley, if you watching this, we mess with you, bro. Like you to go. You the.
I do, bro. But hey, if you want to call it Keighley season, but then what do you call December? What do you call the Game Awards?
The Game Awards.
Keighley season redux.
The Game Awards. Game Awards season.
Yeah. Okay. But you get it, man. You get that time of the year.
Yeah.
After I'd say after mid-June, we're gonna know.
Yeah.
Like maybe we get surprised. Maybe they be like, "Hey, BioShock 4 in 5 months." Doubt it, but That'd be wild. That
Persona
calendar's looking
Persona
pretty damn.
6 next year, 2025.
That's the one. The one that I think, this is gonna sound crazy. The one that I think is possible. Just stick with me. Stick with me. Let me dream sometimes. We've been disappointed time and time again. I think it's possible that Persona 6 could come this year. I think it's possible. Do I think it's likely? No. I don't think it's likely. I think it's almost certain that it will be revealed this year, though.
That I believe. That I believe.
that
It might be at the Game Awards, honestly. That's my
Right.
prediction. Game Awards.
Right. Now, that'd be a fast turnaround, but I remember being blown out the water by Fallout 4. You remember Fallout 4 was revealed in June and then came out in November, I think.
Mm.
Fallout 4. So it's happened before, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like we need at least one. Because what's coming out? I'm like, there's so many games that are like, they're releasing 2024, but then you like, okay, when? What's coming October, November, December? But I mean, we'll see when we see, man.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I got a bonus round for you. I know we didn't do one last week. We haven't done one in a minute, it feels. And this is a new one. Working title is Word Up. So it's real simple. You have to guess what game I'm thinking of based on real life quotes and accolades the game received when it was released. So the only hint that I'll give beyond that is the genre. I can tell you what genre the game is if you so choose. But I might say this game won Story of the Year from GameSpot in 2004, you know? And you have to guess the game based on those criteria. All right? Okay. I have faith in you. I have faith in you, so don't let me down. Number one, this game, I'll just tell you, it's an RPG. All right? It won the Best Game Award from the Japan Game Awards for 2001 and 2002. And it was also voted first place in Famitsu's most tear-inducing games of all time poll. So most tear-inducing game of all time. Best game from the Japan Game Awards, 2001, 2002.
I'm trying to make sure I'm thinking of the right game. Was it Final Fantasy X?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, because that makes sense.
Starting strong, man.
That makes sense.
Hey, your brain's still working. Old head over here. You're like, back in 95. Okay, this next game is a fighter.
It's a fighter.
The only hint I'm going to give you, besides that, it had a widely praised musical score that consisted of 38 composers.
That's a lot.
So, okay, I believe I should throw another qualifier in there. This game came out before the 2010s. Before the 2010s. It was the late aughts. It came out in the late aughts. It had a widely praised musical score consisting of 38 composers. This one should be so easy.
And it's a fighting game?
It's It's a fighting game.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it a pure fighting game?
Don't matter. I said it's a fighting game. The genre is fighter. That's all you get.
Okay, I have two guesses.
No, you have one guess.
No, well, I have two in mind. I have two guesses in mind.
What? Yes, pick one. Pick a game now. Gun to your head. What game?
Is it Brawl?
It's Brawl.
Okay, because the other one I was thinking of, because I think didn't Tekken 5 have a bunch of composers?
Not 38 though.
Okay.
Brawl should have came to mind immediately.
Okay, because some people don't classify it as a fighting game.
But it's a fighter
So,
though. What else would it be? A platformer?
Party game.
Party game isn't a genre.
That's true.
Yeah, no. It's a fighter. Like F them people. Okay. I got two more. This game was nominated for Best Spectator Game by IGN in 2017. It's a battle royale.
Battle royale. Best spectator game. Oh, Fortnite?
2017. Fortnite, yep. See, I'm going easy on you, man.
Okay. Yeah.
3 for 3. I'm going easy on you. We got one more. Okay, this one's for all the marbles.
Right.
First person shooter.
Okay.
Edge magazine called it the most important launch title for any console ever. Right there.
Yeah. Launch title.
Trying to contain the beast.
I'm trying to remember. It was. I'm not too sure about this one. I'm just gonna say Resistance.
Halo.
Halo. Oh.
Combat Evolved.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I don't know what else you would pick over that. This was the one that I thought might stump you, but you got 3 out of 4.
Okay.
You got 3 out of 4.
Thought it might have been Resistance, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, that's probably the best you've done in a bonus round. So I'll give you that.
Hey.
Okay. So I guess as a little extra treat, I mentioned we were going to share our top 100 games of all time. Obviously, we're not going to do all of that right now. But what I want to do is take the first 10, not top 10, but maybe 91 through 100. Your top 100 games. Just list them off really quick. You don't have to go into detail on each. I just want to share with people what that first 10 looks like.
All right. So you want me to start?
Go ahead, yeah. Just list them all back to back.
All right, so Shin Megami Tensei 4.
Okay.
Incredible Atlas RPG. Dragon Ball Z. Budokai 3. Classic. Classic, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Classic. Nier Automata. That game still to this day. I've never played anything like it. Never.
Dang, I'm surprised that's not in your top 10, but okay.
Paper Mario.
Which one?
The first one.
Okay.
Paper Mario. Ys 8. Lacrimosa of Donna. That game is incredible. One of my all-time favorite action RPGs, bar none. Good story.
Seriously?
Yes. Yes.
Then why you ain't put me on it?
I've told you about it multiple
In
times.
passing.
I've told you definitely need to play it though.
All right.
But all right. Heavenly Sword.
Heavenly Sword.
The game that to me put Ninja Theory on the map. That's a good ass game. I don't care what anybody says. God of War clone. Suck my dick. Good game.
Ooh.
One of my favorites from that PS3 era. Final Fantasy X. Classic.
Final Fantasy. Wait, how?
If not one of
So
the best
Final Fantasy
Fantasies
10
ever.
isn't in your top 10?
No.
Wow, bro. We got some ways to go before we see the top 10, but I'm eagerly awaiting because you already mentioned 2 I would have guessed were in yours.
Let's see. Legend of Zelda. Twilight Princess.
Twilight Princess.
Incredible game. Absolutely. Everyone should play it at least once. Good adventure game. Don't care what the critics say.
What critics?
You
You talking about George down the street?
it's-
Like,
It's funny because we were just talking about this earlier. Sonic Heroes.
uh-huh. Okay.
Good ass game. Good. One of the best Sonic games.
I don't disagree with that, but
Okay, this one will surprise you. That is on there at all, but maybe not. New
what
Super.
number is this?
There,
How many you do so far?
this is the last one I'm on right now.
Okay.
So, New Super Mario Bros.
No, bro, that game is great.
I've put too many hours into that. Too many.
That might be like that's maybe my third most played DS game, like of all time.
Like I've like too many hours in that. Too many.
Mm-hmm.
Such a good game. It's definitely aged,
Yeah,
but it's so good.
dude, it's like you bottom 10, and let's be clear, everything from 100 to 11 are not necessarily ordered, at least for you. I ordered mine loosely.
Yeah, I didn't order mine.
But
at
even
all.
your bottom 10, bro, like so many bangers already. I'm just like, dang. But I mean, we played a lot of games historically, so I would think the top 100 you could think of, you probably love each and every one of them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Because I can say that for me, there's a lot of games I can say I love, but that's because I played at least 1,000 of them. So. Nice. I was surprised by. See, none of those games. East was probably the only one that I was like, "Oh, really?" Because I don't know. I guess I just don't recall you talking about it as much as, say, a Trails or Shin Megami Tensei.
I mean, I'm not really into Yeast like that. Like, I didn't like Yeast 9 at all.
Mhm.
I did not like Yeast 9. I might try Yeast 10 because I think that one's coming out soon. Might try it if there's a demo, hopefully, or game trial.
See, that I do remember you saying is that one sucked.
Yeah, I didn't like 9 at all. Maybe you might like it, but I don't like it.
Maybe. Wow. Okay. You might like it, little bro, but it ain't for me.
I think
You got bad taste.
mostly. I mean, most of the reason why I didn't like it was because of the story. The story was what drove me, and Yeast 8, Yeast 9, it just wasn't good.
Yeah.
It just wasn't good at all.
Well, you ready for my bottom 10? I guess.
All right.
Number 100, Telltale's The Walking Dead.
Okay.
Next is DMC Devil May Cry.
Oh, really? Okay.
Half-Life 2.
Oh, really? Well, of course. I mean, you're more what's the word I'm looking for? More
I'm more what?
More studied in games than me, so it makes sense.
Yeah. Well, because we definitely
you've
had a
just
different
played
trajectory.
more. You've just played more than me.
Yeah. Because you had a specific lean. Like it was all fighters, mostly fighters and RPGs for you. But after Half-Life is Infamous 2. No, the first Infamous. Let me be clear. Infamous.
First Infamous. Okay.
Infamous. Viva Pinata.
Viva Pinata, really?
Dude, I spent a ridiculous amount of time in that game.
Really?
Jade Empire.
Jade Empire. All right. Okay.
GTA 4.
I wish I could have played it.
All right. Jack 2. God of War 2. And Final Fantasy 15.
Final Fantasy 15.
It made the cut, man, and it was kind of close but enough. Final Fantasy 15, I think it was a combination of the hype and the theme of it. I just liked the guy's trip element, as corny as that sounds.
Yeah.
I just like the relationship between the protagonists. You know, there was a brotherhood that was palpable throughout.
Yeah.
And I just enjoyed that game because that was you might not know this. I have a history with Final Fantasy, but outside of like 7 and 10, 15 was my return to the series. Like 15 is what really made me appreciate it as a brand and go back and try to play a lot of them.
What, 13 made you exit because it was trash?
Bro, 13 I just steered clear.
13 was trash.
I probably played like this much of it.
Good for you.
I was like,
unfortunately,
good for me?
Good for you, because unfortunately I played it.
I know you did, and see, that's another reason I don't want to play it. What you told me about it, but yeah, I mean,
I forgot why I played it. I think
to say you did.
No, you know what? I think part of the reason why it was because one of them boys like in my server, they got on my nerves, and I liked fighting people, so I played it.
Right. Yeah, how ironic is that? But
and I hated it.
Viva Pinata. I could tell that was the one. That one in Half-Life seemed to surprise you, but Viva Pinata, man, I don't know. I just, I'm a sucker for sim games and simulations.
What do you? I can't remember. Like, what do you even do in that game?
Okay, so the core loop. What do I compare it to for you? Okay, so the core loop of Viva Pinata is you attract pinatas to this plot of land, to your garden.
Mm-hmm.
Each pinata you unlock has increasingly high demands to capture them, so to speak, or to make them a garden resident. So like you start with, say, a worm, and then to get a bird, you got to feed the worm to the bird. But then you also want all the medals and rewards for the worm. So you breed the worm, you breed 10 worms, you get all the different color variants after breeding the worm. Then you feed worms to the bird comes in, then you feed the bird to a hawk. and then at nighttime mice come and you feed the mice to the snakes. You get what I'm saying? So it's
Okay.
like, yeah, it's
That's
like over
okay.
100, and you always have to mix and match and find the right combination, like what can live in harmony with the next species, and you're constantly leveling up, getting that dopamine hit of, oh, I just unlocked this, let me grind and get this, let me do 5 things at the same time. It's heavily objective based, and
Yeah.
that speaks to me. So plus, I'm like a monster collector, you know. Speaking of which, I guess I might as well tell you, an honorary runner-up, I guess, because there's 30 some games that couldn't make the top 100. I'll just say Digimon World 3 is sitting pretty at 134. But
You see, I had that game, but I was too young to understand it when I was playing it.
yeah, it's just there's so many games higher up on my list that do what it does better. I couldn't justify it being in the top 100.
Mm.
And as for Half-Life 2, man, what can I say? That game really, it's top of its class. It's one of them games, sometimes I wish I was a little older when I first played it, because I would have appreciated it that much more. But even at the time, I was like, wow, look at the physics. Ooh, this can, I can pick up this can and throw it in a trash can. Wow. It was definitely ahead of its time. But yeah, speaking of time, that's pretty much all we got.
Right.
I guess we can do this for the next several weeks. We'll just list another 10 games. Hey, in the comments, y'all tell us your favorite games. What's your bottom 10? Not the worst 10 you've ever played, but what's number 91 to 100 on your list of favorite games?
Yeah.
And for now, that's a wrap. Where can they find you?
Well, you guys can find me on my YouTube, on Gunnm921, on Twitch, Gunnm21, Tumblr, Gunnm.tumblr.com, as well as Twitter at Topics the Creator.
You can find me at Goals in Fitness on basically everything. Goalsinfitness.com, Goals in Fitness on Facebook, Goals in Fitness on YouTube, Goals in Fitness on Instagram. And that was the Dap It Up podcast. Hold on to your physical games.
Yeah, definitely do that. And don't play Final Fantasy 13.
And lock your doors. Lock your doors or Nintendo coming.
Oh yeah. All right, y'all. We got you on the next one. Peace.